Hey guys, it's Zeffie. So today, or not should I say today, well for me today, but this week on Starting Out Solitary, our topic for this week is selling spells for profit and what our thoughts, opinions, standpoint, moral belief, you know, all that, whatever it is on that. So, I'm just going to jump into that, I guess, because there's really no other way to do it and get going in the video. So my local witch shop, we do have some pre-made spell kits. Some are pre-made by the people who own the shop, and some are made by companies that they do bring in. And I think those are a really good idea for beginners. They are a great way for people to, you know, kind of see, you know, this, you know, specifically this ingredient works with this, or this works with that, or it's made for this specific topic or whatnot, and it gets you in the idea that you are, of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Sorry, I'm still kind of in workout gear. Bear with me on the sports bra popping out. So I think that's great. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a great learning tool. I think it's great for beginners. It's also great for people who are maybe short on time. We don't always have the time to create their own or to work their own. Sometimes you got to go with what's convenient. It's the fast food of spell work. It's not always the best, but it is great. So there's that form of selling spell work. And then there's, I will do this for you for this amount of money, or I will do this for that. I try to avoid doing that. I have, in my opinion, a pretty good collection of things, of spell components or whatnot, and that's really what it boils down to. I do things when I have the time. For other people, when the need arises for certain situations, I will make time. For instance, sometime earlier this year, one of my very, very close friends, his grandmother had a stroke. I got a phone call, or not a phone call, I got a text at about 1:30 in the morning, and he absolutely knew that I was going to be awake, that I'd definitely be one of the people responding, but I knew that he'd send it to a lot of other people as well, because that's when he had found out and it had happened. And it said, hey everyone, prayers are very much so appreciated. My grandmother just had a stroke and she's in the hospital and it's not looking good. And my response to that is immediately go start ritual, go do things, go do spell work, go work on this man's, you know, grandmother, go do what you can. And it ended up, you know, I don't look at it as, oh, I saved grandma, or anything like that. I look at that as, this is what I do, is working in conjunction with, you know, the medical professionals and the amazing medical team, down from the paramedics who got her to the hospital, to the nurses, the administrative staff that got her paperwork done in an orderly and proper and correct time, to the doctors, and she ended up having to have surgery, and everyone who came together who had some sort of part in that. I look at it as I come in conjunction with that. Have I ever asked him, hey, would you mind, you know, shoot me a few extra bucks for the candles and herbs and stones, and there's a few other things that I use that are more hoodoo related. Would you mind shooting me some cash for that? Absolutely not. I will not. I think that's a very cruel intention. I look at spell work as a labor of love. If I have enough of the items to do things, I will do it, no questions asked. If it's things that require, I mean, certain herbs are very easy to come by, or they're very cheap. That's not a problem, because I want to keep those in a steady stream of my own possession anyway. But if I'm making, let's say, a gree bag for someone, and I haven't, you know, just bought in bulk, you know, the little bags involved, I do generally do that. Maybe I'll ask someone to throw me 50 cents for one, in general, when it comes to gree, just for the fact that I have to get a bag, and those aren't as easy to come by as herbs or whatnot. Or, I'm sorry I'm so out of breath, I'm still kind of recovering after a workout, but while I'm doing a bunch of things, figured I'd get everything going. So there's that. If I have to go out and specialty buy a few things, you will be paying for it. That is, I feel like it's relatively fair. I can't put myself, you know, in the pit for what I do. But I will never, I rarely will ever I rarely will ever create a cost and charge people for spells. But there are instances. If someone is looking for let's say they're looking for love. If they're looking for an opportunity, just to find someone or to find companionship, or I know they're not in it just for, the sex or the cute Facebook pictures or the arm candy or people to do things with. If they're just looking for the companionship and they would like something that would enable them just to maybe be in that right mindset to allow love into their lives, I'll do it as is. If I need to buy anything, I'll let you know the cost. Otherwise, we're good. If you want just, oh, it's Christmas and I always want someone for Christmas, or I need someone to be cutesy with for Halloween, so we can do a Halloween couples costume, or I miss having regular sex, or really things that aren't true to need, you're paying. I'm putting a cost. I will show you that your need of you're being greedy has a price to pay. If you are looking for money, and it's nothing like you're in a financial situation or you want to provide the opportunity. My big one is it has to do with your children. If you want to be able to provide your children with opportunities to learn things, to experience things, no problem. I do things if there is a cost associated for just that. If you're being greedy, even if it does involve your children, if you're being greedy with money or what you want things, or I want to go on a trip, I want to go on a vacation because I want to go on a vacation. Meanwhile, you're spending all this money other places where you don't need to be, and you're not actively putting forth the effort to save your own. I'm going to do a cost for that. I try to keep things really as fair as possible, and if there is a positive intent, there's no additional cost. I don't do things for profit. I avoid doing it as much as I can. I generally do try to keep my energy away from unpure, selfish things, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. It's a skill that I have. It is a series of hours of studying and practicing that's gotten me to be able to do what I do. So I very rarely do things of that sort. But if it comes to emergencies, health situations, missing children, natural disasters, I had someone when there were a bombing attack in Paris at the concert. I knew someone who had a family member who was over there, and they didn't know if there was going to be health or if they're going to be alive, if there's going to be health issues, if they're going to be injured. They didn't know what was going on with that, so they reached out to me, and I had the stuff involved, and immediately it was done, no questions asked. So there's that, but then we look into things, it's not quite spell work, like tarot card reading, or things of that sort. I will not exploit my talent and my belief. I will not exploit my hours of study. I will not exploit my knowledge. I am not a commodity. I'm a person. I'm not something to be exploited. Will I do tarot reading parties? Absolutely. I will do those for like 1 or 2 people at a time. I think the largest group I've ever done was about 10 or 12. Will I do them for giant groups of people? No, because then people come in and they want to shuffle things, they want to hold cards, they want to walk by, they'll say things, they'll think things. I do not have enough cards to deal with all the energy transfer and the energy around things, because after a while you cannot cleanse those things 20 million times in a day. They get exhausted just like you would get exhausted. So I try to avoid that, but again, there will be situations where I will read cards for people for absolutely nothing, because they deserve it, or it's really quick. I don't find card readings to be that difficult. I have contemplated doing card readings or starting offering that as a service to people in person, but that's on a commercial level. On a personal level, I generally don't do things of that sort. And I'm bouncing all over the place with this one. I'm so sorry. I just have a lot on my mind with this topic because it's actually come up in my personal life with work opportunity I had. I do not bring the crystal balls out for commercial use or for profit. I don't bring out my boards for commercial profit. I will not do crystal healing for a commercial profit. I will not do chakra balancing for commercial profit. If it ever came to the point where there was a large enough demand and I had to travel for it, or it was taking up a lot of time from my own personal life, I'd maybe start contemplating it. But for the time being, there's not enough demand in my personal life for me to do that. I will also say that there has been an opportunity for me to go ghost hunting or whatever it is, to do a paranormal what's the phrase I'm looking for? To do a paranormal investigation. And they're grabbing people from all different belief systems, all different faiths, all different science and skeptics and people who can really come together and really create a true investigation on these things. And I have been asked to go along, and I'd say personally right now that I'm contemplating it, but I'm not sure, just because I don't feel like my ability, my gift, my talent, my skill is a commodity. I feel like I should not be traded and tricked around. I'm not a show dog, and even then I don't agree with showing dogs, but that's a whole other issue that's not even related to this channel. But I just try to keep things as pure and simple as possible, because what I do and what I try to do for people is quite simply and honestly a labor of love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Toodles.